World War III. Part 2. The trouble is Europe and the United Kingdom has basically demilitarized its capabilities by relying on America and NATO to come to its rescue. All the country's expenditure on military is a very small percentage of GDP and has significantly decreased over the past decade, to the point countries such as the United Kingdom has sold many frigates and a large portion of its naval fleet for financial gain and has decommissioned many other vessels in order to save money on the sheer expense of day-to-day operations. The sting in the tail is that designing and manufacturing the latest fighter jets costs billions and billions of pounds, and even if you only buy one jet, the investment is still the same. The high costs are solely through concept and design and new technologies. The only way out of the sheer cost and diminishing capability is to raise defense GDP. Hence why Trump has vowed to stop plowing money into NATO. Europe and the United Kingdom are taking advantage of America's goodwill, and this has to stop. I am doubtful it will take 3 to 5 years to repair the damage of underinvestment. It would entail vast expenditure in infrastructure. We would need to increase our defense GDP to around 7%, which is what Saudi Arabia spent to achieve this. However, the United Kingdom only spend 2.3% currently, which is pathetic, especially when you look at the world we live in. It is not just the United Kingdom that has fallen behind. Germany only spend 1.5% GDP on military, relying more heavily on NATO. As stated, Europe and the United Kingdom rely so much on their closest ally, that being America, to defend us should an attack take place. It may be worth noting that the United States spends the most on NATO, accounting for about 2/3 of the alliance's annual defense spending. In 2024, the United States spent an estimated $967 billion on defense. This cannot carry on. We are independent countries and should not be relying on America to subsidize our lack of input. If I was an American, I would be absolutely fuming about the fact Europe is lowering their defense budgets for financial gain whilst allowing America to pay for the shortfalls. It is not for the American taxpayer to pay for their military alliance. We should be doing that ourselves. The best thing that could ever happen would be that Trump goes ahead and pulls out of financing NATO, and only then would they increase expenditure. Europe and the United Kingdom are nothing but bums living off another country's purse. The problem is, we know the United States has to fill the coffers for its own security and long-term prosperity. I find it quite pathetic that 1/3 of NATO is being subsidized by the United States. If a war broke out in Europe as our ally, the United States would be forced into war, which would cost tens of trillions of dollars and diminishing trade, therefore destroying United States' economical infrastructure and security. It is therefore a no-brainer for the United States to build and shape our defenses. The problem is in the fact they are depending on this, and, to say the obvious, taking advantage of this. And yes, I did say $1 trillion the United States plowed into NATO and defense last year. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to my channel for more audio broadcasts.